Good evening. This is the Marshfield Board of Public Works, and it is our meeting on, back to the front page here,
5 p.m.
5 p.m., and it is July the 25th, and we have a single item on the agenda for tonight, which is follow-up review from our previous review at the last board meeting, and then approval with any comments that might have come from staff of the rates and other fees. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
And it's hot.
Yes, it is. Yep.
It's so hot, my shirt is red. Based on temperature.
One more joke like that, your face is gonna be red too.
I just spent a week on vacation in New Hampshire with no AC.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're right on the lake.
It's still hot.
Okay. All right. I have reviewed these rates. I believe, Rod, you had one correction?
Yes, the rate sheet you had initially had a no curbside available transfer station use only at 120, and it should be 130
Okay.
based on
That's for trash.
calculations.
Okay, this is trash.
Those are that's that, was it Trowance Island?
Rose Island, okay.
And then there was one other Pilgrim Trail, was it?
Mayflower.
Mayflower, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Mayflower for South River Street.
Yep.
Not
Okay.
to be confused with Mayflower Lane.
All right.
Okay.
That, I have no issue with those corrections.
I'm all right.
Bob, any comments? Okay. And I guess we can move to approve that's just applying to the trash rates. And no additions or changes to the water rate
Correct.
or sewer rate? Okay.
Other than what we had discussed, and so that this rate sheet that you
Right.
had reflects the changes proposed, the 4% in water and the 4% in sewer, and what was it, 9 something in trash?
9.5%.
9.5 in trash, so that's what these rates
Do we have a
reflect.
motion on that, Anne Marie?
No, not on the one that,
Okay. So,
either one, I don't have motions.
That trash was 208, right, times 2,
okay.
Yep.
416, so that's correct.
Okay, so I guess I would ask Ken to read the motion on the sewer rate, trash rate, excuse me. Yeah.
The old.
The trash rate.
The old fees, yeah.
There was no, yeah, motion.
Rate sheet there. We got rid of this one because he said you don't use it.
416.
So if you're going,
I had the motion on the other sheet from last week, Dave.
Yeah, you did, I don't have it, I don't know if I have it
It
here.
represents about a third.
so the trash rate in semi-annual is 208.
Correct.
So that's 416.
Correct.
Yep,
Current rate is 380.
Quarter tap you did away.
So we're going up from
Yeah.
380 to 416.
Yes.
My question, if I can make a question.
go right ahead, sir. Yep.
We're doing, establishing the rates on semi-annual. When are we going on to quarterly?
It won't be at least about a year.
Okay, so basically we should do the semi, we'll vote on the semi-annual because we're not ready for the quarterly.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And-
Okay, just wanna make
and,
sure.
That was discussed too at the last meeting, and that
Yeah.
was the same answer.
I was,
You're repeating it for the audience tonight, that's good.
I'm repeating it for the audience, but I was also on Zoom last
Is
week.
it something
so-
to do with soft right? Is it?
Well, we're switching over to Munis.
Yeah,
Once
it's a
we
new
go to
system of
Munis,
Munis,
we'll
yeah.
go to the quarterly
Yeah.
billing.
Ken's
Okay.
getting the motion, Dave. He's
Good,
going
all
to
right.
get his motion.
Okay, well, we'll have a brief discussion on the water division fees that Rod presented us tonight, which is going to be that the trench permit will be $25, that's per permit, correct?
Correct, and that's what we charge right now. It's kind of a
Okay, there's no
dollar
change
fee.
from that charge?
No.
Okay. And then the water permit is $2,500 for a 440 gallon per day setup, which would be for residential, which is a four-bedroom system design. And commercial is based on the residential equivalent septic system design at $2,500 as well. Water conservation fee, $150, is that the current fee?
That
No,
is
120 is. the
120,
current.
okay, so we're going up $30 for the conservation fee.
correct.
And water main taps for water service, a 1 inch is $750, a 1.5 inch tap is $850, and a 2 inch tap is $950, and over 2 inch we do not tap. Backflow preventative device tests, $60 for residential and $100 for commercial. Freeze plate, $70. Water meter seasonal removal and reinstallation, $35 each. After-hour service calls, $140. Final water read is $50. Meter charges for a 5/8 by 3/4 is $515. 3/4 by 3/4 is $575, and 1 inch by 1 inch is $650. I move to accept these water division fees as written.
I have questions. On the backflow prevention device tests, how often do they test them?
Once a year for anything under a 2-inch. 2-inch and above is a minimum of 2 times a year.
That's what the state regs are?
That's what the state regs are.
Okay, and how many residential backflow devices do we have out there? And are the RPZs or the fire protect?
There's fire protection and RPZs.
Yeah.
There's also air gaps out there also.
Do you test the air gaps too?
We check them, we don't, I mean.
Yeah, so like people have sprinkler systems.
Right.
They have air gaps, so
Right.
that we don't test those.
No, well, you check to make sure the gap is there, the space is there.
But my point is, do we,
Well, we go out and inspect annually.
like, there's a lot of people in town that have irrigation systems, and they have the air gap system as it comes out of the house to
Right.
the thing. Do we have a requirement to test those?
I'll have to check on the requirement.
I don't
but
think
it's-
there is.
Okay.
I don't think there is. So when you talk $60 for a residential, are you just talking fire sprinkler system is a double check valve? And basically, does any residential have an RPZ, which is the higher protection of a,
Right, all the fire sprinkler systems, we require the insurance company to come out and test.
Okay.
We don't do it in-house. We do the commercial and we do the residential backflows.
so what, do we have a number on how many residential?
I can
Okay.
get you that number. I know
Paul said that he was gonna eliminate that from the list because it doesn't do the tests.
The residential
Very-
backflow?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I left it in there and I bumped it
Okay,
up.
yeah. There could be
35%.
exceptions, so I think it should remain.
I apologize, I was the program manager for the state for backflow,
Okay,
so I kind of know a little bit about this.
that's good.
That was just being on the
So
board,
that
of-
was-
being on the board of public works, it brings, I want to know, because really, the state really never pushes for the residential. It's usually an external support. It's usually the commercial components that we are.
Right.
Undertakers, dentists,
Yeah,
those
the
type of
funeral
things.
homes,
right, so where they connect
any
to the
type
water
of
supply.
restaurants.
Okay.
All right, that's all right, I'm okay with that.
Okay, do I have a second on the motion
Wait a
to approve
minute,
as
is
written?
there a license required for the backflow individual?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. So
We have certified backflow
Okay.
Text.
Techs.
techs, but they're surveyors and they're repair. They're certified in both.
Okay, all right. All right, sorry, Dave.
Do I have a second for the motion to approve them as written?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approved.
Here you go, Andy.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
go ahead, Ken. On the trash, please.
Yep. So we wanted to raise the trash fee from the 380 to the 416, which, as we talked about semi-annually, would be the 208. So also the contractor's demo, we talked about increasing that up to $200 per ton, keeping the minimum at $100 per ton. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to raise the trash fee to that 416 annually and raise the contractor's demo fee to $200 per ton with a $100 minimum.
I would like to add something to that we would entertain looking at the commercial rate in 6 months, because everybody else in town, in the neighbor communities, Situate's 300, Duxbury's 600, Kingston's 320, Plymouth is 340, Cohasset is 320, and then if we're going to be 200, and if we start getting a major influx that we can't handle, and if it's stuff that gets overwhelming, we need to revisit the whole situation in 6 months.
Well, I guess that I would suggest that review sometime in December would be appropriate so that we can act at the beginning of the first meeting in January.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that way we're capturing the 6 months for the year, for the fiscal year, okay.
So I'd add that to the motion.
But that is a directive, we don't have to make a motion on that.
Okay,
That's fine.
so that's a directive, okay, just leave the motion away, but it's a directive that we'll revisit this in 6 months.
So I second the motion as written and read by Ken, excuse me. Yep. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And next is the water rates, Rod.
Wastewater rates.
I'm sorry, wastewater rate, okay, yeah, it'd be next, yeah.
So the wastewater rates, they're included on that rate sheet, and the increase was recommended at 4%, from 814 to 847. And we're not changing the base rate, but we're changing the consumptive rate to achieve that 4% increase.
Base remains the same, okay. Any additional questions subsequent to our last meeting?
I'm fine with it.
Mr. Johnson?
No, no comment.
All right, I move that we approve the rates, so an increase from the 4% increase based on the consumptive rate change. Base rate remaining the same from $814 to a 4% increase to $847, the rate increase being 4%. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, water.
Yeah, the town rates also, I don't know if we have to vote on those, they go up the 4% as well.
No, it's a 4% rate increase. When we deal with the town rate, we're talking about a 4% increase in basically the offsets. So it's, we just implement it. Okay.
This is all based on last year, we had no increase.
Right, we had no increase last year. The 4% is over the existing rate, which basically is now 2 years old.
That should do it.
That's it.
Okay.
That concludes the meeting?
The water,
I make a motion, business for the evening is completed, and I
Did we vote to
move we adjourn. I'm sorry?
Did we vote
Did
to
we vote to
water?
water?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first one.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, I missed
No.
it.
Go ahead, Dave.
Okay.
No,
We did not actually have a vote, we were discussing.
Oh, that's right, because
Yeah.
you went on to the next, so
Yeah,
yeah.
Do we
yeah.
want to just vote the rate sheet as well, or was that
We
already
voted
taken
that.
care of?
Didn't we
The
vote?
rate sheet for water,
For
Yeah.
all of it, it's
Yeah.
all written on the one rate
it's
sheet.
all on the one sheet,
all on the
so
one
we
sheet,
just
so-
vote to approve
Rate sheet.
Rate sheet.
the three rates.
Yeah.
The
So
three,
make a motion to approve the rate sheet.
No, that's
that-
that's the fees.
That's the fees.
the next one, it's the second page, right there.
Okay, yeah. okay.
And make
So,
sure
okay,
that
the scenario.
it
So
has
this
the
is-
130 in there.
Okay.
All right. So
16.
make a motion to accept.
Hold on a second. Okay, everything I've got on, well, let's see what we call page 2 here. Okay, I've got page 1, which is the annual, semi-annual rates. This is what you're referring to when you say the rate sheet?
Yes.
Correct. Yes,
Yes.
that was provided the last time,
Yes, it
with
was.
the exception
Just
of
wanna
the 120
Yeah.
goes to 130 for the out-of-town
Okay.
trash.
And this was basically...
I'm not out-of-town, sorry.
Okay. And this, it's the resume, it's the recommendations as you had it here for all of the individual rates and the dollar amounts that are shown,
It's
correct?
reflected on that particular rate sheet.
Yeah, okay.
So-
But again, I'm looking at water, base charge is indicated by the meter size. So basically, the base charge for fiscal 2023 is going to be $58 for a 5/8 meter, $87 for a 3/4 meter,
Correct.
$145 for a 1-inch meter, 1 1/4 meter is gonna be at $220, and $290 for a 1 1/2 inch, okay, meter. And the consumption rates are $241 for the first 1,000 to 15,000 gallons, $628 per gallon for 16,000 to 50,000 gallons, $914, okay, for 51,000 to 101,000 gallons, 100,000 gallons, excuse me, and $1029 for any consumption in excess of 100,000 gallons, and that is the same rate applied to all meter sizes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
That's a grass burn.
We need to read the individual, no, that was sewer rate for condominium, so no, okay. All right, business of the meeting is now complete for tonight. I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.